I don't have a journalism background at all. I never took a single journalism class, and I ended up writing a TV show just because I really wanted to. And so every day I really want to. I want to make a better show than the one I did the day before.
When things get really low, you sort of have to remember your purpose. You have to figure out, how do I make my own path, my own way?
Sometimes not everyone's gonna like you and think you're the best and you're ready to do the job right now, right? You're gonna work really hard to prove that person wrong.
That's
and
right.
You're gonna find yourself more in that experience. You're gonna mature as
That's
a
right.
leader, as a manager, as a person.
So excited to be with two very accomplished women.
Ditto.
Ditto.
So I am an executive producer with NBC News Now and Daily.
I'm an executive producer at CNBC. I run the 11 o'clock hour, which just relaunched.
Joey and I used to work together at
Yes.
MSNBC, where I still am. So I'm a senior executive producer of the weekday news programs. I oversee the weekday news shows, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., which is wild. And
That is
there's
very wild.
never a dull moment, but
No.
I love it. Were you always into business news?
Always. I went for a job interview there, bombed the interview, like awful. I was totally unqualified for this job, but I went anyway because I was like, I'll put my
I'm sure you
resume
were.
there.
Right,
I'm sure you were qualified.
You know?
Yes.
No, I really wasn't. It was definitely one of those things where I overshot, and I was like, let's just
Good.
see where this takes
Go
me.
for the
That's
stars.
awesome.
Yeah.
But dude, they called me a month later. They're like, well, you're not a right fit for this job, but do you want to intern with us? And I was like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So I started interning there as part of college credits, and then I just stayed. And it's because I showed up to this interview that I wasn't qualified for,
Mhm.
but I knew that at least if I got my name there, they
That's
might
it.
remember me, and they did.
How I got recruited to come to NBC is through the journalism program at Columbia to be a news associate and then work at Dateline, which was amazing.
I interned when I was 19 at Nightly News with Brian Williams. And then I went to Villanova, so I interned at NBCU Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back to desk assistant at Nightly, and then I went to Way Too Early when it was starting with Willie, and then I've been at MSNBC since then, since 2009.
If you could give yourself advice, what would you say to your younger self?
Say yes to everything with your mental health and well-being
Yes.
as a priority. But I
Yes.
mean, just learn everything, be a sponge when you're
Yes.
asked to do something, say yes, do it well, and then people will ask you to do it again.
When I was a senior advocating to be an EP, this is what I would do. I just started sending my bosses clips, and I'd be like, here's something we did today that was very different. At least 2 or 3 times a week, I would just make sure that they could see that I'm fully a full self-advocator. Let's do this. You want to know what I'm about? Here's what I'm about.
I think you also have to learn from your mistakes.
100%.
And it's really about how you bounce back, right? Because you can hustle, hey, and then one wrong move, it's just like, oh my God, you're a complete disaster. How could you do this? You're the worst producer ever. You're like, oh my God, wait, what did I do? You have to take it as a learning point and a learning lesson. And that actually builds your character to figure out who you are.
When I started, there were 2 women EP, maybe 2. So I just clung to them. And now, I mean, a large chunk of our shows are run by women at CNBC.
I have 2 kids and,
Right.
and a spouse, and this is a 24/7 job, as I'm sure all of ours are, right? So I think I just really try, and when I go home, and to find those moments where I can put my phone down, where I can focus on my family,
Right.
where I can and getting moments or maybe an hour or maybe
That's
that time, I think it's not going to stunt your growth in your career
Right.
or anything like that.
One of the things that I really try to tell, folks who are entry level is please have a work-life balance
Yeah, yep.
because I didn't. And there are things that, in the beginning that I regret, like missing weddings, not being able to go to family events because, I'm working.
We've become this society where taking time off is oh, she took time off. And I don't understand why. If you have time off, take the time
Take
off.
the time.
Your growth will not be stunted
Right.
because you took your 1-week vacation with your family.
Right.
That's not how it goes. Everyone is expected to do those things.
I would not only argue it doesn't stunt your growth, it makes you a better manager and leader.
Agreed.
To recharge, to take time. Because if you don't, you're going to burn out.
That's right.
And you're not going to be an
You're
effective
gonna be angry.
leader.
When I had my first son, I went back 2 weeks early because I was like, oh, this other person is trying to like encroach on my territory. And I
Mhm.
was, I'm reading everything and I was like, I have to go back. And then my
Mhm.
second son, I was like, no, I don't.
I talk about, the hustle game and just, always just learning from your mistakes. And that's because that's what I had to do. And that helped me to even be more genuine and authentic self, because I can say, hey, I messed up. Okay. But here's what I learned from it. And, and you move forward. So yeah, be yourself.
Staying true to yourself, especially when you have risen and you're in a management
Oh, yeah,
position.
so hard.
You are in that position for a reason.
right.
Yeah.
And be yourself.
That's right.
And that will get you where you need to go. And I
Mhm.
love that. I love that.
Someone
piece of advice.
once was like, oh, you need to take it down a notch. I was like, I need to take it down a notch. I was like, excuse me, I got here because I didn't take it down a notch. Okay?
Yes.
I'll tell you that right now. Like, I'm here because I didn't take it down a notch.
Reason,
If anything,
like,
I
take it up
amped it
a-
up.
Take it up a notch.
Yeah,
Take it up a
I amped it
notch.
up 3 notches.